Afternoon, everybody. How we doing? Another afternoon in front of the chaos. Afternoon, Erwin. Welcome to the stream. Nice Bitcoin icon. Just watching this Euro Swiss hammer just formed on straight off of the 125 ADR. Obviously, there's nothing back here to have a look at, really. So, yeah. All you got to go on is price action there, but that's a nice looking hammer at 125. So, see how we get finished off there. But obviously, I don't really short the long the euro, but afternoon diamond. Yeah. Looks like a nice little reversal, doesn't it? But we shall see. Right. This afternoon. So, this afternoon news-wise, we've got US dollar PMIs, which don't really tend to do an awful lot. Be more inclined to see the stocks move in the market this afternoon. Interestingly, I think it was IG. No, wrong one. Sorry, one sec. Let me just find the dash. God, blimey. There we go. Sentiment index. We looked at this, obviously, a few weeks ago. It's amazing how many people are net long on the indices at the moment. Not on the FTSE, but 63% of people are long on the indices, which is a lot. So wouldn't be surprised at all to see the market drop again today. Everybody's long, therefore it goes short, obviously. So yeah, be interesting to see what happens. So far, down dramatically today. 125 ADR already today. Big drop again. So it's not looking healthy at the moment for the S&P. Nasdaq down, obviously the same as the Dow, all down. Interestingly, all hit ADR already today. So looking at that Euro Swiss hammer we just got there, obviously those are formed usually with a bearish engulfing on the hourly. So looking at the S&P, when we get on the daily these nice hammers put in, like here and here, the way they're formed is London pushes all the way down to here, and then we get the full correction in New York. So far today, we are all the way down here. So are we going to finish with a hammer today? Is New York going to push up? That is the question. But if not, we are on our 6th down day in a row, and substantially moved down already. So yeah, big old movement, isn't it? Big scary movement again today on the indices. So I should be scalping them this afternoon. I'm going to do some futures. I don't want to get into any positions on these at the moment until they've sorted their lives out. Interestingly, I was looking at an article this morning about the releases we've got tomorrow and this week. Everything released pretty much over this next 2 week period. Historically, for the last 8 quarters, that's the last 2 years, COVID basically, for the entire COVID period, pretty much every one of those stocks has performed earnings-wise in the last 8 releases around about 0.5 to 2% on average as an increase. So expectation would be it should perform the same now. We're still in COVID, although we're coming out of it, but it should perform the same now as it has over the last 8 periods, which has been during COVID times. And they've all outperformed. So who knows? We're expecting decent things from earnings, which obviously would be a positive. So is this just a sell-off to push stock prices down before the pump, i.e. a dump and pump, which means we will see a V-shaped recovery form or not? Inquiring minds want to know. What does everybody think? It's going to be a big one, isn't it, over the next 2 weeks? What do I think about gold? Just saw a great short on it. Gold. I'm long gold at the moment. Purely based off the fact the way the stock market's collapsing and everybody's going to be piling money into solids. So gold being one of them. But short term, yeah, I mean, short term had a beautiful reversal alert and retest. Pull back down into this area and potentially long it out of there. Depends which time frame you're looking at. You know, if you say you got just saw a great short, M1, M5, M15, hourly, 4 hourly. Lots of different time frames. Long term, though, I'd be looking to long it. But, yeah, you short it today. Right, so before the market opens, we got 23 minutes. We'll have a look at where we are so far today. On the 4 hour, yeah. So, yeah, nice bearish engulfing on the 4 hour, wicks to the upside. You've kind of missed it, though. That trade's already happened. That was the alert. There. Stop, hunt, gold, drop, retest, entry. So ADRs, right. So we'll have a look at these ADRs. There's quite a bit of ADR movement today, which is lovely to see. So I'll keep it on M15. We can see what's going on. Aussie dollar Swiss. Swiss franc still pushing. So the Aussies and the New Zealand's today not having a particularly fun time of it. The Swiss franc has been very, very strong. The yen has been very, very strong. So a lot of these ADRs that you're seeing lit up today are all across the same pairs. So don't take them all. You pick and choose the ones that you think you like the look of. But Aussie dollar Swiss, really nice push. We just had a bullish engulfing going on at M15. Really nicely extended down there. M5, we've had the reversal alert and we're just retesting it now. So we've put in the propulsion candle. We've come down, we've retested that propulsion candle twice, and we're looking to push now. So 125 ADR reversal just gone in on the Aussie Swiss. Obviously, there's no directional bias on that. The Swiss franc has obviously pushed the Aussie down. The Aussie's not had a great day either. So easy retracement on this one. Loads and loads and loads and loads of room. We're massively extended down there. Asian lows, you got lovely play up to the Asian lows, which is a really decent move. So nice Aussie Swiss long potentially there. Aussie yen. Yen is still coming down. Wait for some signs of strength on that thing. It's still going. It's pushed down really, really, really hard. We had a W formation, didn't get a reversal alert, and it's still going. So yeah, yen. Crazy moves still. Aussie New Zealand still pushing down. We're getting some signs of strength starting to show through at the bottom now. 125 ADR. Just feel those gaps there. Yeah, so we're just pushing down into support at the moment, potentially. So we're in a support area here between these areas. So potentially this is a good bounce point. We've filled those. We'll have a look at the Euro New Zealand as well, because that is just approaching beautifully. Was it the Euro New Zealand? No, sorry, it wasn't the Euro New Zealand. Scrap that. There's something else in a minute we'll have a look at. Aussie New Zealand. Was it that one? Oh, yeah, it was the Aussie New Zealand anyway. Sorry, yeah. Aussie New Zealand. That area there and here is basically the zone. So right now we're bang in the middle of potential bounce point for the Aussie New Zealand if we're going to continue this breakout. So we had this big old breakout. Remember I said these always get faded. It's taken 3 days to fade it, but it faded it. We've pulled back down into support. So this is potentially where you'd be looking for your longs on the Aussie New Zealand if you want to go for long ones on that one. But 46 ADR is not a great mover, but really nicely extended so far today. Alerts wise, yeah, I mean, just waiting, aren't we, at the minute? It's quite far away on the 5 minute, 15 minutes, the same thing. So, but that looks really, really good. Aussie New Zealand, again, no directional bias on the Aussie New Zealand. They're both shorts. You're already in, are you? Yeah, cool. Nicely done, Erwin. Aussie US. Again, same thing. Big, strong push down on the Aussies. We had a lovely hammer going, which came pretty much straight off of ADR. Reversal didn't hold. So, again, next opportunity to get in down there. 125 ADR on that one. US dollar, expecting strength. This wouldn't be my favourite one to take today because I'm expecting the US dollar to strengthen. And therefore, obviously, Aussie would come down. So rather not take this one, but the other Aussies looking good. Aussie, New Zealand especially, looks quite nice. So the CAD Swiss pushed down by the Swiss franc. That's starting to strengthen up now. CAD yen still getting pushed down by the yen. Euro odd. This is a pretty good looking opportunity. I've got into another position on this one. It's still pushing up. Got a sell stop down there. How far away are we now? What are we heading up to? Let's have a look. Yes, we're coming up to 4 hour support at the moment. So I might take another one short on that. So assuming basically we're going to break 125 and hit this level or just exceed this level and chop around up there. These lows here and that high. So basically as we pushed up, this high is held. So if we push back down and we invalidate that high, I'll get into another position there just underneath that. Put it down a little bit. I'm not going to wait for a reverse alert on it because it's a bit too far away. But if we do get a push up to there, your reversal alert will be from there. So that will be the reversal alert entry on M5, assuming we get that high put in up there. So entering another position on that one. Euro odd, love that one short. Euro Swiss. That's already played out, already bounced. Euro Swissy off the lows. Nice reversal and retest and push. Target up here somewhere. Watch out for the Asian lows. That's the hammer, isn't it? Yeah. So, although we've obviously put in a nice hammer here, watch this area here, which is exactly where we are now. If we push back up and get rejected and break back down again, we'll probably do another leg on that. And there's obviously the Euro Swiss, there's nowhere to go. That's it. You've got to get to the weekly chart to find support. We're down in this area of balance down here. So this is the cap removal on the Swiss franc. It's a nightmare, this one. So, yeah, difficult to tell where this is going if it doesn't find support here. But it's the euro. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does go down further. But right now where we are is a lovely place for a long opportunity if you wanted to take that one long. Personally, I've got other euros I'd much rather take short at the moment. Euro pound being one of them. Euro pound pushing up very nicely into this area of resistance. So this area from these lows back up to these highs. Yeah. Very well respected area. We're just tapping into it. Also tapping into the 24 moving average. Also doing a liquidity run of those highs. Euro short, pound long bias as of this week. Short. Lovely opportunity to short that one. I've got euros on at the moment already. I'm not going to take that one, but it's another lovely one to take short as well. Assuming we're going to get the 24 bounce. If we don't get the 24 bounce, You'll be playing it up to these highs here as potential next resistance. By the time you get there, the 72 will be on its way back down, ready to push price back down from there as well. And also we will be extended on the 4-hour time frame as well. If we can get extension up there, that'd be absolutely lovely. Sorry, let's move over to Dash again. Euro pounds. So pound Swiss. Again, this is Swiss franc. So we've had this big move down on the Swiss franc. Beautiful double bottom bounce there. See where we go from here. But obviously this one is obviously just starting to get a reversal out now on M15. M5 you've already had it. Didn't get a retest on it either. It's just going. So the pound looks like it's powering up fairly nicely at the moment. And the Swiss franc across the board is weakening off. So looks beautiful. I mean, it's already played out obviously on the euro. But the pound Swiss, nice ADR reversal off of 125 down there. So lovely looking long if you took that one. Pound yen. Not reversed yet. All these yens are still looking strong, although that one's starting to play play up a little bit now. Yeah, some yen weakness coming in now. All the yens are starting to push up. New Zealand dollar yen I'm already on. Just taking another position on that one. We're just about to get a reversal on M5 on that as well. So that's looking nice for a W reversal. Nice liquidity run of the lows. Hopefully for a push higher. Yen weakness this afternoon. We get all these yens up. Pound US dollar. Just about to get a reversal out on that at 125 ADR. Tons of room. Look at the speed of this move down today. Did not stop all the way down. Not one green candle on that move. And then a tiny little pullback and continuation push. No profit take whatsoever. This is coming back up to the Asian highs, Asian lows at some point. Or you know, it's going up somewhere. But yeah, long, lovely long. US dollar today, so far in the London session, big strong move. Obviously, hence that's pushed down. So again, putting in wicks up here, looking like a reversal starting on that one. So should get some US dollar weakness coming through. If we get the US dollar weakness, there's a good chance we might get that push on the indices as well. So it's all kind of starting to fall into alignment. New Zealand dollar Swiss. Not quite got the reversal. A bit messy, that one. Not really had much of a movement out of London. It has hit ADR, but it's not very pretty. New Zealand dollar yen we've covered, and US dollar CAD hit to the upside, about to stick a reversal in. So yeah, loads and loads of good reversals on ADRs today. On that pound yen is fantastic. Got out just at the right spot. So glad to be out of that thing. Pound yen, yeah. Yeah, potentially starting to reverse. So good escape on that pound yen. So here's a good example, like Darmond. I don't know what your name is. It's D. I'll keep calling you Darmond if you don't mind, because I'm very much. We've had this conversation before. I pronounce things as I see them, and that's how I see it. I don't want to offend. So this is where we got into pound yen. Double top, 72 bounce potential, and what happened? The yen just went on a massive, crazy weak streak, and obviously everything shot up against the yen. So we just got fully embedded on the 4-hour chart. So this is a really good example of how position trading works. So as Darmon has just said, just got out of this trade, been stuck in it since before Christmas. So you get in, you scale in as price moves. You wait for price, all these buyers to start exiting their positions. As they start to exit their positions, you can get more aggressive and come back down and ride the profit take. So all these buyers are now taking profit on those moves. Yeah, 50% retracement. Even more at the moment, just gone beyond 50% retracement. So as long as you're scaling into positions, yeah, if you're position trading, that is, and not using stops, you're just waiting for the move to play out. Sometimes you get squeezed, and that's how you get out of them. It just takes time. You can't tell what's going to squeeze and what isn't. But most of the time you'll see much more orderly price action like this. Support, resistance, bouncing. Yeah. And each one of those is an exit. Sometimes you get the push, the squeeze, where you don't get it and you just get that one move, and that's it. So good example, that. Diamond. But it's okay, I'm not offended. Story of my life. Cool. Yeah, same as me. People always put a P in my surname. It hasn't got a P in it, but I've been living with it for many, many years. So anyway, right, so let's crack on because it's 9 minutes to the open. So that's all the ADRs, loads of opportunities there. RSIs, I'm not going to go through them all. I went through them all this morning, but we are extended massively on lots of stuff. Anything 75 or above is just tradable, regardless of COT bias or anything. Euro Swiss is the outlier there. I don't like longing the euro at all, but it's a prime example, the Euro Swiss. It's massively bearish. It's extended massively. We've got a beautiful hammer gone in here. So it's likely going to pull back. Even that, below 20, anything below 20 is ready to pounce on. So things like New Zealand dollar yen, obviously go and look at all these yourself, but New Zealand dollar yen, huge extension. We're below the 20. If this thing does continue down further, it's just going to get more extended. The bigger that elastic band stretches, the tighter that and faster that ping back is going to be when the move comes. So again, just waiting for yen weakness to kick in on this one. This will probably get played out tomorrow during the Asian session. So loads and loads of extensions. I'll quickly whiz through them. US dollar CAD, huge extension to the upside. We are looking long on US dollar. Obviously, this is where we would have taken our positions down here. Yeah, longing US dollar. But we are now very, very extended. So again, if you are long on these things and you see extensions coming in on the opposite side, this is when you get out. If you've held it, get out, because you're likely to get a pullback. So really nice extension there to the upside. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, again, massive extension to the downside. US dollar's had a massive push, which has pushed this down. New Zealand's been weak. Spring back, definitely overdue on that one. New Zealand dollar yen, as I said, I'm already in, still massively extended, putting in a nice doji at the moment. Obviously, this candle's got another 3.5 hours left, so long way to go. But again, 3 solid down candles, no rest. We've had no rest whatsoever since here. Since this initial propulsion move was put in, we followed another propulsion move, and we've had no pullback, no profit take, whatever. Look at what happened last time this happened. Bang. Yeah, just waiting for all of these sellers to exit their positions, and we'll be off. And obviously, they're doing potentially a liquidity run of the lows as well. So manipulation to accumulate positions to reverse. So all looking good. So these are all looking really, really good. New Zealand dollar Swiss long, huge extensions across the board. Pound US dollar, all on the US dollar strength. But again, be very, very careful at the moment. We've got all sorts of economic things sitting, waiting to hit us potentially. So just got to be very, very, very careful with anything that you get into. I would much rather wait for stuff to get 80-20 extended at the moment than 75-25. But start there. I would ignore anything below there at the moment. When you've got a lot of uncertainty, you want to make sure your trades are A+ setups. A+ setups start at 75 and go up from the RSI extensions for if you're doing a mean reversion. So, these are massively exhausted, and it will push down more. But loads of support areas. That one's kind of done, but loads of support areas on the way down where buyers are potentially going to step in. Profit take start. So pound yen, massive strength. Again, this is going to weaken at some point. It's coming to areas where we are going to start to find support. We're running into this nice area of balance and accumulation before the move down started. We came back up, we reaccumulated there and pushed up again. We're just back in this zone where the bias started. So if this is just going to be a 50, 61.8 retracement, this is where we're going to go from. So loads of extended, no profit take, potential support, resistance, and pullback zones. You know, it's all lining up, confluence across the board. Pound yen, pound Swiss. That's obviously bounced and potentially looking for the move up there. Euro Swiss, obviously we looked at as well. Massively extended, beautiful bullish engulfing going off the back of the hammer. That thing's off. Euro yen, same thing. Just starting to get a doji form on that one. Not particularly good. Euro yen again. You know, anything that's sort of, when you get the dash lit up like this, kind of 68.32 and 70.30s are like near. Much rather be on these ones. CAD yen, just starting to find support at the 72. We tapped perfectly into support. Resistance, bounce. Again, looking like a good one. CAD Swiss. Again, support bounce. This is why you need to draw your support resistance levels in. You see them. Aussie US. Yeah, be careful of this one. US dollar, I mean, this is completely the opposite direction for me. I'm looking for shorts against the US dollar. Not really one I would want to take. There's plenty of better opportunities out there at the moment. Pound US dollar is probably your best one if you're going to trade against the US dollar, because the pound has flipped long on the cot. There's potentially going to be some movement coming through. So that one is more likely, I think, to push than any others. Aussie yen and Aussie Swiss and Aussie US. Yeah, big yen, big Swiss. A massive move down on that Aussie Swiss let. So yeah, just look for the profit takes. Yeah, history repeat. So loads of opportunities there. So all those H4 extensions drop down to M15 or M5 if you so wish. You want to be a bit more aggressive. Reversal alerts, jumping longs, hourlies. Oops, wrong one. Hourlies, loads of extensions as well. It's all the same stuff, yeah. So Aussie Swiss, obviously, if it's extended on the 4 hour, yeah, and it's extended on the hourly, you can see the difference between the two. Pretty similar across the board. If it's extended across on the hourly, it means that the moves on the 4 hour are recent. Therefore, these are obviously big moves that have gone in now, and we're waiting for profit takes on them. So tons of opportunity across the board. I've got the EA running to get me into loads of these at the moment, so it's just chugging away. Right, so that's it. Yeah, loads of opportunities everywhere. So anybody got anything else they want to look at? It's all very similar to this morning at the moment. So really nice buy areas on lots of these as well that we're getting into. But you know, just bear in mind moving averages at the moment, because you know, the market is heavy, the market is not very happy. So S&P, so we're pulling off the lows at the moment. We've got 1 minute to the open. So where do we think we're going today? So S&P obviously massive moves down on the daily, on the Nasdaq as well. Huge moves down on the dailies. Basically exhausted. So this is 6th down day on the trot, which is very, very, very unusual. So going to be looking to see what happens at the open. Just going to play it a little bit calm today and just wait and see what happens with price action at the open. But on both of these, we'll be looking for some decent movement. So market's open, and we'll see where we go today. But not really got a directional bias. I mean, I have to be long at the moment, just purely based off the speed of today's move. We are down at over 125 ADR today. So looking for at least a pullback in New York at some point, if not a nice bullish day. But we've been looking for a bullish day for the last week, haven't we? Hasn't come. So but we're starting to open bullish at the moment. So keep an eye on these. What's everybody's thoughts today? Is anybody still holding their S&P if they got into S&P last week? Anybody holding any longs still? I know a few people are. But it's not a good time to be holding, I don't think. But you never know. So not particularly quick open at the minute. Looking like we want to break to the highs at the moment. Okay, we've got a break above the highs on the NAS and the S&P. So looking to trade up into this area. S&P, we've got loads and loads of room to the upside. NAS is a little more congested, a little bit closer, but kind of looking today see if we can get that break. We haven't had a really strong break and run for ages. Either way, in any direction, we haven't had that strong break and run for a long time. So I'm just looking to see if we can capture that today. Just get a little breakout and push. I'm going to scrap this if we get down below 143.25. Giarmond is currently hedged, waiting for the pullback. Yeah, that's a good play, I think, at the moment. If it continues down, you can't go wrong. We are going to go up again at some point. Even if we collapse, we have got to pull back to collapse. Well, we usually pull back to collapse, obviously. So even in COVID times, we pulled back. When the initial COVID collapse started, it went like that. Yeah, we still pulled back even though we were collapsing. So if you've got a hedge on, if you're hedging short on that initial collapse and it continues like that, your job is literally to find the bottom, which will come at some point, unless we go into the Great Depression of 1929 in 2022. We're about 100 years on. That's probably about right, isn't it? Went long just before the close on Friday, S&P and NAS. Schalk, yeah. So in a bit of drawdown today, if you did. Okay, starting to push. Thinking about it anyway. Okay, 168.75 is my new line in the sand. If we're going to, if we're just going to dip our head up and drop, I'm going to start exiting down here. Uh, 0.3% in drawdown as you trade 1% per ADR on both of those. Yeah, good. Keep it nice and small at the moment. If we can get some decent price action to the upside today, you know, this week is going to be so critical. If we get positive earnings and negative stock movement, that's really going to be a sign of things to come, I think. NAS is unsure. So is the S&P. It's really having a think, isn't it? I'm just marking the 15-minute opening range. Still no movement. It's almost as if it's scared, isn't it, at the moment? Okay, pushing back up, new highs, new opening range highs. So this is the first area of trouble for the NAS. So we'll see how we get on here, show how much strength we've got potentially today. Okay, got new highs put in. Nice 40-point move out the open. So again, this is the area we were looking at on Friday, which we traded up into. Remember I said on Friday, if we can't crack that level, I'm out, and that's where I stopped on Friday. Just took that loss there. So today, again, that is our target. That will give us a bullish candle today. If we can get up to there and hold up there around that area somewhere. Adding another long. Let's just put him back into potential support. This area here. See if we hold that level. Doesn't look like we are. It's really hard to adjust your mindset to go short on these indices. So running an inside bar at the moment. So this is the 15-minute high here. So see if we can hold this bar on this 5-minute candle. If we can't hold this, I'll shut this out. To stay with trend direction seems pullback strategy is pretty helpful with less drawdown and less positions. Since we know we are with the trend. Yeah, so obviously trend, there's lots of ways of determining directional bias. If you're playing trend pullbacks, yeah, I mean market structure pullbacks are a great way to trade. It's entirely personal, yeah. So I'm a mean reversion trader, so I'm playing off the fact that market participants short have to exit their positions and revert to mean, which is what I do. If you want to trend trade, you will be the opposite to me. You will be taking positions short, and I will be waiting for you to exit. So either way, both work equally well. It's down to you as a trader how you feel most comfortable, basically. Okay, and that's pushing lower. Okay, close one of those out. Just going to hold one and just see if we get the bounce down here. And then add back on if we're going to break back above these highs. S&P's just getting stuck in that sell area. Loads, just sellers everywhere. A minute. IBM's been coming down all day. IBM's the only news earnings release today. And that is after market as well. Obviously the earnings aren't out yet. Okay, closing that. Not looking good. So we'll see what happens at the lows. See if we get a bounce off the lows today. US dollar still pushing hard. What's the indicator that makes the grey boxes? That's just a gap indicator. So basically, it's a propulsion candle. Just if you go in the Telegram group, there's links to it in the Telegram group. Gap indicator. So basically, whenever you get a propulsion move like that, it shows you where the propulsion move is, which shows you that there's accumulation before the move. Obviously, when we get strong moves, they are usually out of the back of an accumulation. That shows you where all the volume is put, and that is the area that will tend to be defended by the buyers, and obviously defended by sellers in this case when you get up there. But okay, so 15-minute range is in. That is our 15-minute low. So we'll see where we go from the low of the day. It's going to be a hell of a push, isn't it? If that comes down further today. Okay, just rejecting those lows in a minute. So see if we can get a nice W forming here. Probably waiting for FOMC Wednesday before clear direction. Yeah. Okay, we're going to push up. I'm just going to take one long. This is just a rejection off the highs. So, oops. Getting out down there. Yeah, FOMC. FOMC can have an impact on the stock market, but I think you'll find FOMC will get a little bit lost in all the earnings at the moment. There's so much that can impact direction of the market at the moment. It's just a case of really waiting. But for the FX pairs, yeah, I mean, we're getting an awful lot of movement today as well on the yen and the US dollar ahead of FOMC. So you get one or two things happening ahead of FOMC. You either get the market kind of going to a little bit of a rotation, which is an accumulation, and then obviously when FOMC is announced, they will make their move whichever direction they want to with whatever pairs they want to. They'll go from there, or you get a decent movement on the Monday, Tuesday ahead of FOMC, which then tends to get reversed by FOMC. So you can't tell obviously until you get to Wednesday what it's done. So if the market's been in rotation, we know that we're going to get a break. If the market has been pushing, we'll quite often get a reversal. But obviously there's no way of knowing until you get there. If we knew, we would all be millionaires, wouldn't we? We're not. Nowhere close. Okay, still holding in the 15-minute range at the moment. So double bottom at the moment is holding. There's got to be a bottom somewhere. The yen looks like it's strengthening up a little bit again. Yeah, a little bit more downside starting on the yen. Swiss franc. Yeah, potentially continuing moves from this morning. Look, which could maybe not bode well for indices as well. Nope, stopped out. Looking like a down day. Again, for the indices. So, going to change... God, it's hard to change bias on it when it's this low already. So, if we're assuming we are going to continue down today, I'll be looking basically for support resistance pullbacks and gaps, basically. But obviously, we've got to form some gaps. It's been very efficiently traded at the moment. Obviously, wicks overlapping. So we'll just have to wait for it to play out, really, and just see if we get any opportunities to short it this afternoon. Unless we break back within the 15-minute opening range and hold in here. If that does happen, this is obviously going to be a bullish sign of a liquidity run basically down here and potentially off from there. But not looking good, is it, at the moment? Okay, we've got some buyers started to come in down at the lows. Okay, put a buy stop in. In. 1 minute to candle close, a bit early. But nice bullish rejection off the lows. If we can break the highs, I'll add again at the highs. And then my average, assuming we're going to get a run today, obviously, my average obviously would be there for a long today. Nice hammer. So looking for this low here to hold, basically. Okay, adding one more. S&P, nice hammer as well. Decent amount of movement coming in out of those lows. Come on, let's have an update. We just want one update, don't we? It's got a long old way to go. What have we got to do to get an update today? 14,409. Yeah, there's the highs there. So where we're going, hopefully, see if we can get there. New high formed. So let's see if we can hold this low here and then put new market structure in there. $125 on US dollar CAD. Just tapped into the highs there and starting to pull off. If we get a nice drop, if we get some weakness coming on the US dollar, that'd be lovely. It tends to boost the indices when you get a weak US. It's not happening at the moment. Okay, we're just down at this support again. Let's see if we can hold this level. Really wicky today, really wicky. Just accumulating at the minute, down at the lows. It's trying to find some liquidity, I guess, for a move today, but flip a coin. Which way are we going at the moment? Down at the lows again. Okay, it's 5 minutes broken the lows again. Let's give it another minute, then I'll get out of this. If we don't push back up. Nice follow balls coming through. So we're looking for these highs to validate market structure shift. Where's the higher today? 140. 45.79. It's going to take some serious movement to get us back up there today. $15-minute opening range is holding still. It's good. Still not got new highs to put in though. US dollar's flying off again, look. Strong US dollar today. Taking the yen with it. So I mean about US dollar and yen correlation. Quite often you get the two moving hard together. So all these US dollar ADRs still coming down hard. So just wait for some signs of strength on any of these if you want to take them. Big move. And again, you get that push down. When you see a dollar push, you usually get an indice push in the opposite direction. So who's going to win? US dollar yen had a nice reversal. Yeah. Yeah, US dollar yen obviously is one of the, when you got US dollar strengthening and yen strengthening, as you can see, market can't go anywhere. So that's why I don't like trading this very much, US dollar yen. It's very hard to trade because you quite often get the two powering up together and you have to basically wait. You find that US dollar push a lot of the time in our session, and then during Asia, the yen will whack it back down again. That's why you get this movement a lot of the time on the US dollar yen, which is great for range bound trading, but when it wants to go, it goes, and it's horrible. Just breaking down, potentially down below these lows again. Okay, I'm approaching my threshold. $1,000 I get out. If we crack these lows again, I'm out today. Very choppy though today. Up, down, up, down. Difficult conditions to trade. So approaching new lows on the S&P. Well, I've got new lows on the S&P. New Zealand dollar, US dollar just hit ADR. Kind of makes you want to hit the sell button on everything in this market, doesn't it? Just feels cataclysmic, but with FX, for something to go down, something has got to go up. But from an indices perspective, nothing's got to go up, is it? So what's gold doing today? Let's see what gold's doing. I assume gold is coming down today. Yeah. So nice push down on gold. Coming down into a nice area of support again. But obviously we've got multiple areas on the way down for gold to find support. So if we're not going to hold up here where we faded into this this big buying area here, this would be next stop, which is kind of support already, but down to here, 125 ADR. Assuming that we're going to get continued US dollar strength, that is, which is struggling a little bit up there. Starting to. Stopped out. Oh. I've got two positions on. There we go. Stopped out. Okay, out of those. So another down day. Had a down day on Friday as well. Not good. Kind of want to short this market, but if I start chasing it now, it'll pop. The last thing I want to do is start chasing it. So if you do want to start chasing this today, it looks like we're going for a big down day today. Probably clearer to see actually on the clean charts. So we've already obviously put in 125 ADR at the open of London, of New York rather. So continuation push to the downside. So a little bit similar to what we had on Thursday last week here. ADR on US dollar CAD. So yeah, Thursday we had that push up initially and then big drop. And that's basically what we've been having every single day so far. And we're now looking to push even lower, down to 120, 150. So NAS, next stop on the train is here, which is basically exactly where we are at the moment from a support perspective. Let's have a quick look at the cryptos. Who wants to? Who's got? I haven't looked at this, obviously. Who reckons Bitcoin's down today? Another down day for the crypto. Again, push up, gap fill, and drop. Big sell-off across all crypto. Hard, very hard. So we're dropping down. That's the ultimate low from September that we're hitting now on the S&P. So this area here, this whole area here is a potential support, but we've had supports all the way down here, and it's just collapsed through. So I think I'm going to call it a day on the S&P and the NAS until we get some confirmation of what's going to happen over the next couple of days. So I want to see basically the earnings and what impact the earnings have. If we get positive earnings and negative indice, it's an indication of stocks selling off. And if stocks are selling off and they're going to continue to sell off, we should be looking to buy gold and other safe havens, basically, which means you'll find yen increasing as well, Swiss franc, things like that, and potentially, obviously, US dollar. So yeah, opposite, inverse. US dollar typically does inverse. Remember I said we were looking for hold of this level today, this morning, and that would be indicative of continuation push on the US dollar. We should be breaking these highs sometime in the next couple of weeks, possibly in FOMC. FOMC is more than capable of doing that, obviously. So I see US dollar yen made a bit of an RSI divergence on the 4 hour. Yeah, little bit. I don't like flat divergences. I like my divergences. I like my divergences to be more like that. Proper bullish divergence. But we didn't really need divergence to tell us the US dollar was going to go up today. It was it's bullish push back up into support area and broke that support area very convincingly. So yeah, but yeah. Difficult. So going to give it a bit of a rest possibly on the indices at the moment, waiting to see what happens. So if you want to short this today, just look for areas of support resistance, any areas of support resistance, and look for pullbacks, and look for price action coming off of those. But we'll see. Couldn't get along today. I was convinced we were going to get along today, but yeah. So another down day on Friday. Sometimes you got to take them for the team. Right. So obviously, any positions that you're in, keep an eye on where we are at the moment. Starting to pull off the lows on the S&P now. So again, massive movement, 175 ADR already today, but I wouldn't guarantee that it's not going to go lower the way the market's moving at the moment. So just keep an eye on any positions you've got open. Obviously, if you're managing positions, get into additionals as you need to. If you're going to continue to trade this thing today, good luck. Anybody going to continue to try and get some out of this afternoon? Really want to hit the short button, but you know what's going to happen when you hit the short button on this. We're chasing. You should never chase price. When price has dropped this far and you're shorting it, you're getting in at the end of the move. The most likely play is the pullback. But, New York has taught us over the last 3 days, it is not at all happy. But today, based on that London move, it's the first time we've had a London sell-off, and New York's obviously continue it. So big squeeze. Be careful. But at some point we're going up. So it's really tempting, this level, isn't it? If I keep looking at it, I'm going to do it. If I do it, it's going to go wrong. So I'm not going to look at it anymore. Right, so keep an eye on ADRs. Everything that's ADR extended today, everything that's 4 hour extended today. We've got multiples in the 20s now. We've got others which are looking like they're possibly going to join them. Aussie dollar yen is potentially looking like that is coming down on the 4 hour into the 20s. It is in the 20s. So we'll see if there's holds, but lovely doji going in at the moment. We've got 2.5 hours left on that candle yet. Potentially nice pullback, but again, looking for pullbacks, not necessarily reversals on all this stuff at the moment. And the hourlies, very extended on the hourlies. Pound US dollar especially, absolutely exhausted. So it's just starting to pull back off the lows as well. Everything looks like it's just starting to pull back off the lows, but we might just find that we go into consolidations this afternoon and accumulations ready for another leg down. So is this the big collapse starting? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, keep an eye on news as well this afternoon. That was manufacturing PMI at 245. Those figures basically Just get those up. Manufacturing PMI was negative, but and services PMI was negative as well, but not particularly bad. As expected, it was expected to be down. It was down just by a little bit more, so that doesn't tend to have that much of a big impact. And as you can see, US dollar paid no attention whatsoever to that. It's still going. So okay, so that's all I've got for this afternoon. I'm going to keep adding to the positions I've got, which are already massively extended on the 4-hour and the hourly and the ADRs. Wait for those pullbacks to come in and then obviously start to bank those. If you're going to continue to trade the S&P, just be very, very, very careful today. This market is not happy and it has not got a clear bottom in sight. So you just be wary. And if you're in Bitcoin, just get out. It just looks like it's going to collapse. So I'm going to keep watching, but from here I'm mainly looking for bottoms to reverse long. Yeah, that's all you can do. That's the whole point, isn't it? Buy the bottoms. But if you got to draw the line somewhere. So this area here is a very, 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 very strong support. So ahead of earnings, we are expecting positive earnings, especially off of that lot that's coming out tomorrow. So you would expect some stock market, you'd expect some speculative positions being entered, wouldn't you? That's not what we're getting. This is what I thought that down move today was going to be in London, was going to be prices being positioned speculatively for tomorrow in New York, but they're not doing it. So something wrong. The market is broke. If the market's broke, I ain't going to fix it. I'm just going to watch it and wait for some normality to return. So, all right, guys. So I'm going to call it a day there. I'm not going to trade anymore this afternoon, but keep your eyes on everything. ADRs especially. There's a lot of good ADRs setting up now. We've got a lot of 150s. If you're not in anything yet, 150 ADRs are really good opportunities for pullbacks. So we've got these big old moves going in, which will start to reverse at some point, and there will be a profit takeoff of them at some point in the next day or so if they don't happen today. So loads and loads of good opportunities setting up across the board. So you just got to be patient. And if you're trading with a stop, obviously keep those stops tight at the moment, because when it goes, you're going to get a really nice reward out of those. All right, so anything you need, let me know. I will be in the Telegram group as usual this afternoon and hanging around. I'll be watching what's going on this afternoon with glee, but I'm not going to overtrade. I'm not going to try and recoup my losses. It's the easiest way to lose money. So I shall just be watching and see what the market has to say about this for the rest of the afternoon and see if we get a bounce. If we do get down to this level on the S&P, I may try and get in something with a very, very, very tight stop off of bullish price action. I'm not going to get a reverse alert down there, not after a move like this. So I'll keep an eye, but if you are looking for bottom, 200 to 225 today on the S&P is potentially going to be it, but we'll see. All right, guys, have a good afternoon. Fingers crossed. Hopefully everyone can make some money this afternoon. I will be back at 8:30 tomorrow morning. News-wise, there's nothing to worry about news-wise for the rest of today. But tomorrow, be aware, Aussie dollar. We got CPI 12:30 tomorrow. So if you've got any Aussie on or any New Zealand on, pay attention to those. They are coming out while we're asleep in the UK, and then we're clear for the rest of tomorrow. Pretty much, it's all nothing much until we get to CAD on Wednesday. So, okay, good luck this afternoon. Anything else you need, let me know. I'll be in the Telegram group. Otherwise, have a good afternoon. See you tomorrow morning at 8:30, and we'll have a look at the fallout of this afternoon's action. Have a good afternoon.